retarded self-confidence. What do I mean by that? I know it's not a politically correct word to use, but what I mean by that is just not thinking about it and just doing the damn action. Some of you guys, you're too smart for your own good. You think about every possible scenario that could unfold. And you ultimately paralyze yourself from taking action. You self-sabotage. You're too damn analytical. Meanwhile, there's another motherfucker out there who's just like, oh, okay. Is that what I have to do? Okay, I'll do it. And they just do it. You're there, well, if we take a look at it this way, but what if that? And as a result, you sit in the same damn position for months and months and sometimes even years, man. Some of you guys, for years, you're sat on an idea. Someone else is getting it done. Maybe you've been looking at opening a new donut place or a cafe or a restaurant. And you're like, well, I got to look at the market in a bit more detail. I got to look at, and then there's another motherfucker out there who's just like, oh, okay, this is a nice area. How much is the lease for this place? Oh, okay, all right, fuck it, let's do it. Most of the time, they don't even have all of the answers that they're looking for, but they just have a fuck it approach. I'll find the solutions as I engage in the actions. Maybe the furniture inside, they have no idea what furniture to get, but they'll find a way. Later on, once they sign the lease, then they can figure out what kind of furniture they'll get. Now, look, does it help if you know the financials before you begin? Yes, but to an extent. You don't need to know every possible scenario. It's impossible to predict the future. So you don't need all the answers. You don't. That is the life of an entrepreneur. It's a constant problem-solving activity. You solve one problem, and then another one arises. Then you solve that problem. Then another one arises. Then you solve that problem. It's a problem-solving way of life, if you want to call it that, right? Someone once said, you're either in a problem, heading out of a problem, or what is it? You're either in a problem, heading towards a problem, or getting out of a problem, something along those lines, right? That's life, man. That's life. You know, once you look at it in a different way, you stop stressing. See problems as learning experiences. What do I need to learn to overcome this little bit of resistance? You know, what is it trying to teach me? That's how you should look at it. Not, oh my God, no, what am I going to do? You're not going to have a problem-free life. And if you are living in such a way, expecting there to be a problem-free life, then you are, sorry to say, naive. You are. Expect the unexpected, you know? And always ask yourself, what's the worst case scenario, really? Oftentimes, the scenario in our mind is so much worse than what we actually experience in reality. As Seneca once said, right? We suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. The real life, you know, event is far less scary than what we've painted it out to be in our minds. Now, look, of course, I used a restaurant example. If you're going to be putting down a lot of money, then yeah, of course, there's a few more things that you've got to think about. But even then, the worst case is never as bad as you think. For example, you could start off signing a 12-month lease just to see how the first 12 months goes. Worst case scenario, you had a terrible, you know, first year. You don't have to renew your lease. It is what it is. And if you, for example, leased your equipment, you can just return them to the company that offered you the equipment. You know, things like that. Like, people are just like, oh, but what am I going to do with all the stuff that I've got? There are solutions. And this is what I said earlier. You are constantly solving problems, right? You don't need to sit on an idea for 3 years and know absolutely every minor possibility. You just need to know roughly, all right, is this what we're dealing with? Fuck it, let's go. Right? And some of you guys, you're not even opening restaurants or doing anything that may require a bit of capital like that. You're scared of buying an ebook for £65 or a course for £500 or whatever it may be, right? You're scared. You're like, oh my God, but what if I buy it and I don't make the money? No one is guaranteed anything. You get in life what you put in. If the input is good, if you take everything, for example, a course teaches you seriously and you implement it the right way over a sustained period of time, you will get the results. If you think buying a course is going to make you rich overnight, well, then you're naive, right? So how you approach something determines the results you get out of it. If you approach it seriously, if you do the work seriously, over a sustained period of time, then you will win, you will get the results. It's impossible to take productive action. Productive, keyword. It's impossible to take productive action over a sustained period of time and not progress. It's impossible. As long as you're doing the right actions and you're reviewing what you do on a regular basis, you know, let's say once a week, you're going over what you did. Okay, this has worked, hasn't worked. It's impossible to do that over a sustained period of time and not progress even a little bit. Now, this is why it's so important to do the work productively, because some of you guys, you're busy being busy. You're running around, and just because you're, moving a lot, you confuse your movement for progress. Sometimes, actually, you need to do less to get more results. Funny enough, isn't that interesting, right? It's like the saying, work smarter, not harder. Now, I believe in working hard and smart, but there are certain activities that perhaps you don't need to do so that you can focus on other areas and advance quicker. So look, if you have a rough idea of what it is that you want to do, go balls deep. Success loves speed. It doesn't love somebody who sits there analyzing, strategizing for too long. You know, in the world of trading, since I'm a trader, the people who actually perform the worst are those that are academically very qualified. People that have done PhDs, masters. They're so analytical. You know, doctors, engineers, lawyers. They actually make bad traders, a lot of them, because they're just trying to find out every possible outcome. And they overthink the execution. They overthink the execution. And they essentially think themselves out of doing the work. It's that simple. Meanwhile, there's another guy that's like, oh, okay, boom. It helps to know a little bit, don't get me wrong. But there comes a point where the more information you acquire, the less it actually helps you, and the more it actually starts to hinder you. Yes, diminishing returns. After a while, you're just overloaded with information that you don't need. And you start performing worse. Your performance drops. You confuse the fact that you've acquired more education for you now able to make more money, but no. You only need enough information to execute. And I say enough. Of course, that may be subjective for a lot of you. Ali, what's enough though? It's enough to start seeing results. And then you learn, you get information through the execution that you do. You get information feedback, data from actually doing the work, not from sitting there reading a book 12 hours a day. Okay? So get your data from execution. That's much more valuable than projections. Well, this AI tool has told me that if I do launch my product, I should be expecting projected returns of around. Well, how about you actually launch your damn product and see how it performs, instead of sitting there using all these AI tools for months or years on end to project how well your business will do. You're living in fantasy land right now. Launch the damn business. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment, let me know what you think down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.